Good evening and welcome to the ABATE TV show for April 24th, 2018. And this is the mission of ABATE. It is to preserve the universal right to a safe, unrestricted motorcycling environment and to propose and advocate actions that can be taken by elected officials to protect and conserve the natural resources of the state of Illinois and ensure through professional management the sustainable use, recreational opportunities, and enjoyment of these resources is available for this and future generations. And you can always contact abate-il.org, call 1-800-87-ABATE. You can find the Chicago chapter on Facebook, on the internet, and we look forward to seeing you at our meetings, which are always on the third Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. at the brewery, 3848 North Harlem. And by joining ABATE of Illinois, you have the satisfaction of knowing that with your membership, you're helping to preserve the basic freedoms of all motorcyclists. And our next meeting will be on the 16th of May, right after Mother's Day. Get your ABATE merchandise for gifts for Mom. Come to a meeting, buy some ABATE merchandise. We've got some really great stuff, even like the sweatshirt and little spaghetti tops, little things like that. And support ABATE in any way that you can. Remember, and we've repeated this before again and again, you don't have to be a motorcyclist to be a member of ABATE. ABATE legislates. We're not a club. And that is why it's all the more important for as many people as possible to join ABATE, because we have to support the rights of all people here in the state of Illinois. And with ABATE, especially motorcyclists, which is how I came to be involved. Because, yes, folks, once you lose a right, you're not going to get it back. And we're finding that right now with Second Amendment legislation. And where there's Second Amendment legislation, there's motorcycle legislation. And here in Illinois, we've got some politicians that need to understand that ABATE supports the Constitution. All of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. All 27 amendments, I guess if you don't count the 19th Amendment that repealed the 20th that repealed the 19th, whatever it was, the one that repealed prohibition. We can subtract that one, but basically we have 27 amendments to the Constitution. And as motorcycle owners, you should be all the more interested in protecting and preserving your rights. Because I'm sure that some of you remember, what was it, 15 years ago? Oscar, was it 15 years ago when they actually shut Lakeshore Drive down to motorcyclists, and they even had signs ready to go, and ABATE fought it?
It was earlier than that.
Was it? I'm not sure exactly when it was, but they're talking about that again. And it just gets to the point where you have to keep fighting to keep the same rights. And if you're not on top of these people, they'll steal your rights away from you as fast as you can blink your eyes. And this is another reason why, well, Pat is not here tonight. He's down in Springfield for ABATE Legislative Day. He left, I want to say last night or this morning, and will be in Springfield with Dan Harper and a number of the other guys that, so you can, I hope you can all read this. We go down every year, a group of us, to Springfield, and we meet with all of our legislators. We take a number of folders, we go to all of the offices of our elected individuals, and we all have assignments. We go to the people, like I live in the 9th district, I'd be going to the people that are representatives of the 9th district, and I also am in the 12th, so I go to who represents the 12th, and this way, each of us who lives in a particular Chicago legislative district, or Cook County legislative district, and Illinois legislative district, depending on where you live, we speak directly to our state legislators, and we've developed a very good working relationship with a number of them. Some we don't have such great relationships with, but we continue to maintain contact with them. We don't just shut them out because they disagree with us. There are some that agree with us on many issues and not on others. So we meet them halfway on a lot of different issues. So that's why it's so important. And if you're free and available tomorrow, a number of us will be down in Springfield tomorrow. Pat will be back on Thursday, and a number of the people that are down there right now, they spend the night and the day, and tomorrow morning the event starts at 8 o'clock at the State House Hotel, and then we have coffee and donuts, and that's where they announce who's there, talk about topical issues, who we're going to talk to. The file folders are distributed to each region, and each region distributes them to the people that are there that are representing ABATE from Chicago, from Springfield, from all over the state of Illinois. So you get to meet people from as far north like Joe Davies County on the border of Iowa, all the way down to Marion County and Mattoon and all sorts of different places in Illinois, and towns you never heard of. But it's always a great time, and we spend the day going to our different legislators, and then we meet back at the hotel and discuss who we spoke with, who we missed, and everybody brainstorms, talks with one another, shares their experience, how they were received. And then in the evening, around 5:30, 6 o'clock, we have a general meeting, and we invite all of the legislators who care to attend to it for hors d'oeuvres and alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. And it's really a wonderful social time. You get to meet people that you've only heard of or maybe seen in the newspaper from around the state of Illinois. And I think that the most interesting and fun part for a lot of people that go down there to talk with the legislators is they actually get to meet the people they voted for or didn't vote for and express their opinion to them and talk with them about what issues ABATE supports, why we support them, and things like that. And in fact, this is just as a case in point up here in Chicago, not just statewide, because we legislate both in Springfield and in Washington, D.C., Motorcycle Rights Foundation and so on, with ABATE, that there are things that come up, like this. 1 month ago, ABATE was able to stall a ban on body armor that would affect certain types of protective motorcycle clothing statewide. Last week, the city of Chicago quietly passed their version of the same ban. SO 2018-934, again, SO 2018-934, is a ban on body armor possession that passed the Committee on Public Safety on Tuesday, it was a couple weeks ago, and was enacted by the Chicago City Council on Wednesday. Under this ordinance, Kevlar-lined motorcycle clothes, jeans, hoodies, jackets, could be considered body armor under the definitions in this ordinance. ABATE of Illinois is trying to get a revised ordinance passed soon, but we may need to file a legal challenge to the ordinance too. And Patrick said that this is what we can do to help support. I know Ski was up here three shows ago to discuss what he's doing down in Springfield. Drove all the way up here basically just for the show and then went back to Springfield. And that's a long ride. It's 205 miles each way. Please call the ordinance sponsor, Alderman Edward Burke, at 773-471-1414. Again, 773-471-1414. Politely let the secretary know that you are a member of ABATE of Illinois and you don't want to see protective gear banned in Chicago. Let them know that you would like to see an amended ordinance that excludes motorcycle clothing from this ban. Point out that ABATE has been able to work with the alderman's brother, Representative Daniel Burke, at the state level to address our concerns with a similar ban. Then after you've called Representative Burke, 471-1414, area code 773, please call Mayor Rahm Emanuel's office at 312-744-5000. Again, 312-744-5000. And let the staff know about our position on this ordinance. Again, be fair, be polite. You're a resident of the city of Chicago, and as ABATE of Chicago, our members are. And we're concerned that safety gear that motorcyclists wear to protect themselves may be banned because it's protective armor. And this was basically due to the shooting of Commander Paul Bauer. And people kind of got a little out of control. They jumped the gun, so to speak, and didn't think about the consequences of just body armor. If you're riding a motorcycle and you're not wearing body armor of some sort, you could possibly face serious injury if you're involved in a crash. And these are issues that we cover also when I go into the schools and talk to the students in the various high schools. And I'm trying to work on some schools. We've had a little bit of a problem getting into some schools. Basically, it seems that they've shortened the driver's education program to squeeze in as much as the book information as possible so they can get to the range. And it's been a little difficult to schedule. They haven't even been able to schedule the Chicago police safety officers and stuff like that. But if any of you know schools or other organizations that might be interested in having an ABATE presentation, the Share the Road presentation, please let me or any of the other board members know. We work together, we're concerned. May's Motorcycle Awareness Month, and in advance of Motorcycle Awareness Month, which starts obviously May 1st, we're going to have our Chicago ABATE Awareness Run on Sunday, April 29th. We'll be starting at the brewery at 3848 North Harlem at 8:30. And we'll be giving out awards at 9, and I've talked about this before, but it's a reminder. And kickstands up at 10. And as usual, the destination is a secret. But this is a free ride through parts of the city of Chicago to send a wake-up call announcing that May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. And come join us as we ride into May and meet up with some old, some new, and some long-lost friends. And you can find information on facebook.com/ChicagoABATE or at www.chicagoabate.com. And feel free to invite friends. It's always a good time. And whoever the lucky award winners are, we'll find out on the day, and we'll find out the destination when kickstands go up. Now, even if it rains or snows, and this is Chicago, and we've had some weird weather. We set the clock forward and the weather back. And we'll have fun at the brewery because we can always order something, hang out, talk about what we're going to do and upcoming events. Because during the summer, there's always various motorcycle events. And all of us who are ABATE members get this newsletter as part of your membership fee, and inside you'll find a listing not only of legislative issues that are coming up, but also events around the state of Illinois. And as they come closer, we'll announce them, like the ABATE State Party, and as we get closer to various other events, we're going to have our Spring Fling this year on June 10th. Isn't it June
16th.
June 16th? Okay. Thank you. I had it down incorrectly. My apologies. June 16th, and we're going to keep everybody apprised of it. This is the end of April. We'll have the month of May to get everything organized. It's always a great time, and get to see friends, old, new, from all over the place. And again, ABATE is not a club. Many clubs are members of ABATE, and when we have our spring fling or when we have our chili party, you'll see members of various different clubs present because they're all members of ABATE, because ABATE lobbies for all motorcyclists. And the more members that ABATE has, the louder the voice we have. And since ABATE is statewide, a lot of the time Chicago issues don't impact the rest of the state, but the rest of the state does impact Chicago. Like when we had the dead red light bill passed, it went everywhere except Cook County. Naturally. It's like, maybe it's time for us to secede and join Wisconsin or something like that. Anyways, the point being that it's always a great time at the spring fling. It's always a great time at the chili party, but that's a good number of months away. We just had it last February, and it was a great time, as always. And at the spring fling, we always have music and food while it lasts. And you're welcome to bring something to share with others, enjoy, talk about various events, and come to our meetings. Because we do announce at the meetings upcoming events, and on our various shows, we talk about what our various member clubs are doing as fundraisers, American Nights, Llamas, people like that. And they're always having various different events that are a heck of a lot of fun. Beside the state party and other things, there are various clubs that like having the more the merrier. And I'd like to give a shout out to Gina Woods at Open Road Radio, and tune in on WCGO 1590 AM, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Gina and I we roomed together at the ABATE seminar, and the important thing was that we made so many connections with people, and that's what it's about. ABATE is not just about lobbying, but it's about friendship, and it's about statewide friendship. That if you know somebody you need to reach out to in Effingham, Illinois, or St. Louis, East St. Louis, Illinois, whatever, you'll meet them all at the various state events, like the state party, the ABATE seminar in January, the legislative day down in Springfield, and we're going to be down there the same day as iGold, the Illinois State Rifle Association will be lobbying as well. And I know a lot of us have friends who are also iGold members, and I'm trying to recruit a number of my friends in the Illinois State Rifle Association who are not motorcyclists to also join ABATE so that we can back each other up. Because this is what it has come down to, working with our legislators to preserve and protect the rights that we have worked so hard over the years to get for you. And you have to remember that none of us is paid for anything that we do. ABATE is a 501c3 organization, no question, but we are not salaried. When we do things on behalf of ABATE, most of the time we're paying out of our own pockets, because that's a part of the activity that we feel is worth spending money on. And we don't get a whole lot from ABATE from your memberships. And it's unfortunate that Chicago is so large and we have such a great population to draw from, that we should have many more members than we do. But unfortunately, people take for granted the activities that we do, that we're always going to have these rights. Well, look around. This recent legislation with the Kevlar, had we not had people that were out there paying close attention, it's entirely possible that this legislation may have become enacted, signed, sealed, and delivered before anybody even knew. And then you're riding your motorcycle and you've got Kevlar gear on and the police pull you over for wearing body armor. they're talking about more legislation for shutting down Lakeshore Drive to motorcyclists. People complain about the noise. The tall buildings create an echo chamber. It's not just motorcycles, it's also ambulances, cars that may have defective tailpipes, and so on and so on. We have to fight for our rights. And that's, I keep repeating myself, but that's what it's come down to. Okay, we have a caller.
It's Paula.
Oh,
Right. Hello?
hello.
He's right. It's Paula. How you doing, Diane?
Fine, Paula. How are you?
You look beautiful, your hair tonight. Just beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to ask you a question about this legislation thing that we're all going to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you guys go down there last year?
Yeah, we go every year.
Uh-huh. And
So no,
between-
we did miss 1 year about 5 or 6 years ago because of the snow.
Yeah, but last year you guys went down there, right?
Yes.
Did they help you between last year and this year? Did they change anything for your little body armor or anything? Or
Well, this body armor legislation is recent since since Paul Bauer was murdered by
Oh, my God.
that guy who was a career criminal who was wearing body armor.
Absolutely, Diane. I see about a couple of weeks ago they had a shooting down in the South Side area at a little motorcycle club. You seen that on the news, right?
Yeah, sometimes things like that make the
Yeah,
news
but-
and sometimes they don't, but
But what I'm trying to say, if he had that body armor on, he would have been alive, yeah?
well, probably, but he had no reason to be wearing body armor. Paul Bauer, you mean? He had just come from court.
No, not Paul Bauer. I'm talking about the motorcycle club last week. There was a little shooting outside of it on the south side. I don't know, it was some kind of little secret club somewhere. And we heard it on the news that somebody in the motorcycle club got shot outside. But what my question is, if he would have this body armor on that we're going to fight for tomorrow, he'd be alive today. Is that what
You know what? I really don't think so, because motorcycle body armor is padded. It's got in the shoulders, base of the spine, the kidney area,
Right.
elbows. It's not bulletproof,
It's not bulletproof.
but it is body armor.
Right.
It has Kevlar in it, and this
Right.
is the thing. They wanted to basically ban Kevlar.
Right.
So if you're wearing motorcycle gear and you get shot, you're going to get shot. It's
Oh, okay, so what are we fighting for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're fighting for a number of different issues. I don't have the list with me. When we get down there tomorrow, when we get to the State House Hotel,
Yes, ma'am.
then the people from the different chapters will get together, and the guys up at the front will hand out the manila folders
That's
with
going
the
to be
names
so
of the
exciting.
legislators. And
That's
in
gonna
many
be
cases, they actually have a picture of the legislator and so on,
Right.
where they are in, which, state,
Yeah.
house, senator house.
Did you guys take any pictures from last year's trip down there by any chance?
I didn't take any, but I know we have pictures from past events, and some of them are on our Facebook page.
Uh-huh. So basically the bikers overrule Springfield. That's got to be sight to behold.
Well, it's going to be bikers and Second Amendment supporters as
That's
well.
going to be great. What an event. Listen, Diane, I got to get off the phone. My mother-in-law's calling. Tell Dan I said hello.
I will.
And God bless you, and be careful, sweetheart.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night now.
Good night. That was a timely call, but Gina, wherever you are, everybody tune in to listen to her radio show. She comes to the meetings 99% of the time, and she's working with Hoopy and Abraham, and so it's nice to see friendly faces, and looking forward to maybe being down in Springfield next year and sharing a room with her. It's always a lot of fun. So there's not really a lot more to report about tonight. Are there any events you know of, Oscar? Okay, again, tomorrow, legislative day, down in Springfield. I'm going to show you that if anybody wants to take a picture, like a screenshot or something like that. This is about tomorrow for Legislative Day. And the awareness run on the 29th. Oh, I got to put it where you can read it. So if you want to get a shot of that as well, you're more than welcome. But the important thing is that we're a group. We back each other up. I like to make the analogy that the Board of ABATE is a constellation, and the organization is a constellation. And there really are no stars, because without all of us working hard together, our legislators may be able to legally take away our rights. And this is what we had that meeting about 6-8 months ago, about it was where they wanted to, it was at the 21st District Police Station over on Halstead, or 19, 16, whatever it is now, 21, can't keep it straight. And they actually were talking about, there were people there that were saying, we want to shut Lakeshore Drive down to motorcyclists. And trust me, they're going to keep pushing hard, and we have to resist. Lakeshore Drive is a state road, and they really have no right to legislate, but you never know. And these are the things that we have to keep everybody apprised of. And when we ask you to make phone calls, please make them. When it comes to voting, when we ask you to vote for various individuals, please vote for them. Sometimes the only thing that stands between us and loss of our constitutional rights is having help of a legislator. Sad but true. The Constitution should prevail, it doesn't always. So anyways, I'm going to say goodnight to everyone. Thank you. I hope to see you all at our next debate meeting on the 16th of May. Have a great week, and see you down the road. Good night.